Hey guys, it's Parzival. I also go by Will, and I am back with another video. This one is me attempting to use my tripod to sort of show my bullet journaling process, and I have a reference of my old, journaling stuff on there, so you guys can see what my usual process is like from previous months, so I apologize for things being super out of frame. My tripod is a couple years old and was not able to hold my camera up as strongly as I wanted it to, so it just kept falling down. I have a new setup now that should work a little bit better, but yeah. So I guess I just wanted to talk about bullet journaling and how much the environment actually matters when bullet journaling, and just my feelings about it. I'm just gonna talk about bullet journaling for this video. If you are not interested in this, you can skip this video, or you can keep it playing in the background. I don't really care. I understand this is not really one of my speed paints, so you are fine to not watch this one, I guess. But yeah, I have all of the materials and color schemes set on the side so you can see what I was working with. My theme was green for the month that I was journaling. But yeah. So in terms of bullet journaling, I want to start with a little bit of history. I really, 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 really hated journaling for a long time. Not journaling necessarily as in writing down my thoughts. I guess I was fine with that, but in the idea of keeping a planner, which is how I use my bullet journaling, bullet journal, I really hated planners for a long time. When I was a kid, we had these things in school called assignment notebooks. I don't know if they still have those in school, but we were always assigned an assignment notebook at the beginning of the year that was supposed to help us with our homework, and I was forced to use mine. I didn't like it, and it was used to micromanage my actions and what I was doing. So I really, really hated planners. People kept trying to give me planners for Christmas to try and improve my life because I wasn't organized, and it was just insulting. I would never use them. Even if I attempted, it would stop working within a couple of months. I hated using planners. They gave me bad feelings. So when after I graduated college, after I graduated school, and I didn't have to worry about homework anymore, I was having trouble with trying to keep all of my scheduling stuff straight, like my work shifts. And so I needed to start keeping track of those. But I still hated planners. So I would start making to-do lists. I would make a daily to-do list of things I need to complete that day, or art that I wanted to do that day. I would have to-do lists of chores that I want to get done around the house, and on those to-do lists, because they were day-to-day, sometimes I would include my work shift. And eventually, it got to a point where I would be making weekly to-do lists, and then bi-weekly to-do lists. And at that point, I decided that I was just going to put all of my lists into a notebook for ease of access, so I could see things ahead of time and see things that I'd done in the past. And that's how my bullet journal started. It started just as a bunch of to-do lists that I had taped into a notebook. And then it turned into a bunch of weekly to-do lists that were organized in a row. And then it turned into a bullet journal with a calendar and, basically a weekly planner that went month to month. And that is how my bullet journal started. Now, part of this is because I have ADHD and I'm also autistic, so scheduling is both really, really important because I'm autistic and my brain does not like it when plans change super suddenly. But also, I have ADHD, so I have trouble with time management and planning. So this was really important for me to find a method that worked for me personally. And bullet journaling was actually made by someone who has ADHD, and it was meant to be a method of timekeeping and planning that was accessible for ADHD people. You can see as I keep going with my bullet journal, I don't use a lot of fancy stickers. Art by Flan / Flancy Flan on YouTube has some bullet journal stuff where she shows like a bunch of her layouts, and they're super pretty and colorful and stickered. I can't do that. I have to have something pretty plain because, again, these are basically to-do lists. Anything else is superfluous and actually, in fact, really, really distracting. So I can't do that. But yeah, I thought for a while, because I kept a bullet journal for about 2 years straight, that I had it under wraps, that I was good and I had it planned, until I moved last August in 2020, and I stopped bullet journaling. And I didn't really understand why. I just sort of stopped. And you can see in the beginning of this video, I had a section of my bullet journal that I referenced so you guys could see what my calendar looked like, and that was from June 2020. And then I am currently in this video making a calendar for like June or July 2021. And so this bullet journal that I'm writing in hasn't been used in almost a year. And I couldn't understand why. And then I asked my friend Flan, Danny, hey, did you bullet journal when you moved before you had your desk set up? Because I started bullet journaling again, and the only difference that I could point out was that I had a desk. And it turns out that actually, I don't know what it is about brain chemistry, but having a desk is super important for the way my mind registers bullet journaling, because Danny also didn't journal when she didn't have her desk set up. And I don't know, I found that really interesting, that even though I needed a bullet journal, because I really struggled to keep a schedule after moving, and you know, the last year was difficult for me when it came to scheduling, because I didn't have a desk and I wasn't bullet journaling. And now I am, and I feel more confident in my abilities to plan things. But it's interesting that even that I wanted to, I couldn't because I didn't have a desk. And yeah, I guess comment question for engagement. Do you bullet journal? If you do, have you tried bullet journaling without a desk? And does a desk affect the way you bullet journal? Also, do you do fancy stuff in your bullet journal? Do you find it distracting? Tell me about that. But yeah, I do some really simple stuff in my bullet journal. I'm glad to have a desk now, and it has actually allowed me to continue to bullet journal again for the first time in a year, and I'm very excited for that. My bullet journal is still basically just a big to-do list. It's pages upon pages of lists, or like things that I want to watch, like shows that I want to watch, or things that I want to draw. So it's really pretty simple, but you know, that's what works for me. So yeah, I am interested in Happy Planner. Danny really likes Happy Planner, but I also feel like I need something less pre-made by other people so that I can actually like make it the way I need to for my brain. But yeah, tell me about your guys' bullet journals, or the way you journal, or did you guys have an assignment notebook when you were in high school or middle school? Like, was that a thing? Is that still a thing? If any of my followers are like in middle school or high school still, tell me whether you guys have an assignment notebook. Was that just like a my district thing? Was that like an other thing that like people are familiar with? Like, let me know about that, because those things traumatized me. And it really made it difficult to start bullet journaling when I needed it. So yeah, that was a big problem. But yeah, tell me about your guys' thoughts on bullet journaling. This has been my thoughts, so I want to hear yours. But otherwise, I will send you guys to the outro. Bye-bye! Well, that's the end of this video. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, or contact me on any of my social media, which is linked in the description below. I also have my Patreon there if you guys want to throw a monthly donation at me. Thanks so much for your support. I'll see you next time. Bye!